Good morning, people of Reformation. Good to see you this morning, or whenever you may be watching this. Happy Father's Day to all fathers, those who have nurtured us and encouraged us and inspired us and played with us and been present with us through our lives as long as they were able. God's grace and peace be with you all. I think my dad, Leon, could almost go toe-to-toe with Job. He was born in a time when life was difficult for a lot of people in the mid-1920s. He was the youngest of 14 children. His mom died the same day he was born. So not only did he grow up never knowing the love of his mom, he held the grief and pain deep in his heart. He carried the ache that his birth was attached to her death forever. His father and older siblings, especially his sister Evelyn, looked after him. Then his father died when my dad was 6 years old. They lived in a small town in Texas, working odd jobs for the railroad, picking cotton. The kids all had to work. Dad followed the twins just older than him into the Army before he had finished high school. The 14 siblings did stay close, and the first reunion was held when Billy and Bobby came home from the war. When Dad came back, he finished high school and went to a junior college for a couple of years. Marriage to my mom followed, and eventually 7 kids filled the house. Unlike Job's kids, all of us kids are still living strong, although there have been plenty of stormy times. After 26 years, Mom and Dad divorced. He married again, got divorced, and ended up moving to the town in Texas where he had done some of his growing up. Dad struggled with addiction to alcohol, a reoccurring illness that sometimes robbed him of his gentleness and humor. He smoked constantly, he said, from age 12. And emphysema was added in, and then lung cancer overcame him. My dad was resilient, like Job. There was this baseline of life running through their veins that never failed, a rhythm that hardship and loss did not overcome. Job kept God's ears ringing. Why don't you just bury me alive? Get me out of the way until your anger cools. But don't leave me there. Set a date when you'll see me again. All through these difficult days, I keep hoping and waiting for the final change, for resurrection. Or with words that may be familiar to us. For I know my Redeemer lives, and that at the last he will stand on the earth. Then in my flesh I shall see God. Perhaps these days are taxing our resilience. We long for relief. Perhaps we seek relief through actions which allow escape, but not healing. Perhaps we keeping on with strength and hope. We long to see those whom we love when disease or death keeps us apart. Perhaps we keep God's ears ringing with lament and shy and cry out. Go for it. God can handle whatever prayers we lobe. God collects our tears in a bottle. You have kept record of my days of wandering. You have stored my tears in your bottle and counted each one of them. Psalm 58. My dad lamented plenty and kept keeping on. He started his own business, worked in a secondhand bookstore, created paintings, wrote stories of his childhood, kept loving his siblings and friends, his children and grandchildren. He started over many times, facing failure and success. Like Job, Leon chose life, chose to listen to the bass line running through his veins. Near the beginning of the prayer service for the Emmanuel 9, Reverend Samuel L. Green, Sr., presiding bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, preached that the way through the country's original sin of racism is with radical love. He spoke, "Now 5 years later, as the nation continues to grapple with this original sin of racism, we must look inward and turn our pain into purpose. We must turn tragedy into triumph. We must turn despair into determination and choose radical love. Radical love is resistance. Love is a force that resists evil in every form. We counter hate with love. Love is grounded in the ultimate concern of Jesus Christ. Love transforms dark days into bright tomorrows. Radical love reimagines what's possible. Through radical love, we can create the world that shall be where every life matters, where every person is valued, and where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. We need a new moral vision for society grounded in radical love in order to imagine the way forward. Job was grounded in the radical love of God. My dad did not know the love of his mom after his birth, but deep in his bones, he knew 9 months of her love as he was knit together in her womb. That radical love kept beat within him. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Psalm 139. The radical love of Jesus Christ brings us back to life again and again. The beloved delivers us from evil and guides us in resistance that we might persist. Connected by the spirit of life, we unite with our siblings to create a reality where racism and oppression are deflated and love is practiced wholeheartedly. In the video of the prayer service, there is a beautiful lament. It begins at Mark 15:33 by Mark Miller and Adam Tice. I encourage you to tune in the video on YouTube and take a listen. May we keep listening to the love pulsing within our very beings and flowing through the universe. Happy Father's Day. May you all have a blessed day and know the presence of God's love within your hearts. Amen. God's peace be with you.